commitment too much, Jennifer. You
Slow down a little bit?
relax.
Okay. Well, I know we're really crunched for time, so I'm trying to
That's
hurry.
okay.
Okay.
We have till midnight.
I will slow down. Thank you very much. So those are the Health and Human Services Agency impacts. Additionally, there are some additional impacts to the county. In our elections department, we did in fact get the reimbursement for the February 5th primary election, and it is budgeted within the final state budget, and that impact is approximately $200,000. We anticipated this in the proposed budget, so it is budgeted and there's no action to be taken. However, in order to meet the budget reform revisions set forth in the final state budget, a statewide special election might have to be called, and this would mean an additional $200,000 impact. At this time, it's unknown whether or not we are going to get reimbursed by the state or not for this election. And I expect that we might know these whether or not we're going to get reimbursed maybe in the January or May revise for the 2009-10 budget.
Question, Supervisor.
Yeah, but they haven't called the election yet, so we don't even know if there's going to be election.
That is correct.
Oh, did we get reimbursed the full $200,000 for the February presidential election?
We accrued, we anticipated this reimbursement to be reimbursed, and for 07-08's budget, we accrued this revenue. I'm not sure if we received it or not yet. I don't think we have received it yet.
But we've showed where it's an anticipated revenue of $200,000 right in the budget.
Correct.
So if it's going to be, and you say it hasn't come in yet?
Not as of yet, okay. I don't believe, according to our auditor.
So anything under $200,000 will leave a gap in actually that budget, in the elections budget unit.
I saw the legislation come forward for Mendocino County, and I believe that it was around 206 or something like that, or maybe a little bit less of what we anticipated what our reimbursement would be.
And our governor said the check's in the mail, huh?
Correct. So moving on to the public safety. As I stated at the very beginning of this summary, the governor did make a lot of his priority on funding to public safety, to the public safety area. Therefore, some of the impacts that I'm going to be discussing were anticipated in the proposed budget, but the funding was restored, starting with the Rural and Small County Local Assistance Program. Initially in the May revise, there was a 10% reduction. The recommended budget was reduced. Therefore, the impact to Mendocino County is an additional $50,000 increase in the revenue in the sheriff's budget 2310. So that was cut and in anticipation, and now it's restored.
Mr. Chairman,
please.
So that's actually an additional $50,000 in the sheriff's budget revenue side that don't reflect in the budget.
Yes.
Okay.
In the COPS program, this budget did include a 10% reduction for support of the COPS program, which supports the local law enforcement frontline services. The sheriff gets $100,000, and the DA and the jail get $25,000. The city of Point Arena also receives $100,000 in funds from this program, in which the sheriff's budget 2310 receives, impacting the budget by $10,000. In addition, payments will be made quarterly instead of on a lump sum payment to assist with the state's cash flow. The impact to Mendocino County is a total of $22,500 in budget 2313 and budget unit 2070, and this impact was anticipated and budgeted for in the proposed budget. The JJCPA, or Juvenile Justice Crime Prevention Act, continues with the 10% reduction for current year level of support. In addition, payments will be made quarterly instead of in a lump sum to assist with the state cash flow. The impact to Mendocino County is $25,000 or minimal and is budgeted in budget unit 2561. The CalMet program, this budget includes a $19.5 million in funding for this grant program. AB 88, a supplemental budget bill, contains language to develop a competitive grant process that would permit counties to apply for funding, which will be awarded in 3-year cycles and will be awarded to counties who demonstrate the greatest need for addressing the local methamphetamine problem. The recommended budget was reduced, and therefore the impact to Mendocino County is an additional $25,000 increase in revenue in the CalMet budget 0474. Again, this was anticipated and not budgeted in the proposed budget, and an action to be taken of an increase in $25,000 or unanticipated revenue will be posted.
So, okay, so it's not in the budget now, so this is an excellent additional revenue for the sheriff's office.
Yes.
Adding all that up.
Yeah.
And the jail efficiency funds is basically what the final budget calls it. In the budget, AB 88, which I had just mentioned before, containing an appropriation of $31.5 million pursuant to the provisions of the original AB 1805, was to replace that which counties would have derived from the imposition of booking fees locally. Because this funding was reduced from the original $35 million, the impact to Mendocino County is the reduction in funding, which gives the authority to allow counties to charge prorated booking fees when the state appropriates less than $35 million. And the sheriff has the authority to charge for booking fees to these